This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your live market chat, Thursday, February 22nd, 2024 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I mean, you cannot ask for better gifts today, in my opinion. This is why we talk about do not chase. Do not chase, do not chase. Up, down, left, right, whatever. Do not chase action in the market, because guess what? We talk about retest, chop, traps, all these things. If you've been to the Back to Basics How to Trade page, it's all in there. But someone will come on here and go, oh, you were saying the market was short and it's going to dump. Again, this is why we say the same thing. I think it still will. But again, we talked about you had to get through earnings. You had to get through some of this choppiness. I said even yesterday on the live or the daily market review, like, hey, don't be surprised if it's not easy. Again, everyone wants V tops, V bottoms, and that's the problem. They happen 1 out of 10 effing times. We talk about the first dip always gets bought. The first drop, off the first, big bottom, there's always going to be some other drop at some point. So retest, choppiness, higher lows, lower highs, traps. I mean, it's all part of the game, but someone's going to come on here. I can't wait for them to say, hey, you did this. And it's like, no crap. That's what we talk about, layering in, defining your risk. Because sometimes you're not going to be perfect. But I beg people, do not chase. Do not chase. If you shorted NVIDIA into their earnings yesterday, you got clobbered. Again, it's like I hear the same sad stories over and over. And it's like, when are you going to learn? What is the truth that you need to learn? Because at some point, you've got to wake the heck up and realize, like, trading isn't easy. Right? Oh, but I just want, I thought the market was going to dump, so I just shorted yesterday. No. Talked about it. Said in the, like, wait. And again, maybe this might not be right, but I mean, the risk reward is way in my favor at this point. So let's dig in. Let me know how I can help. Use the Coulling link below in the description. New to the channel, check out the Discord room link for that. Check out the website as well. Tons of fun. All sorts of things. Education series, real estate. If you have any real estate questions, again, please reach out. Always here to help. Love to help you, whether you're buying, selling, investing, anywhere in the world. I can help you out, find an agent, give you some insights on how it works. All for Libre. Isn't that free? And again, check out the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, notification. Also check out the Twitter. So, all right, let's get into it. Fed Watch Tool. We know what? No rate cut at this point. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Bitcoin, chop. We talked about not weeks ago, but it feels like weeks. How many recaps have they done? Said, hey, don't be surprised if we get stuck in the 51,000 area, and then we get stuck in the 51,000 area. So again, if you are a bull, you should be taking more profits. And if it dips, great. And if it rises more profits you should be taking, because at some point you will get some choppy, sloppy action. Do not sit here and assume that it will always go up. That shit is just so dumb. And again, stocks only got up. Once Davey Day Trader coined the phrase, what happened in 2022, 2023, 2021, the market shit all over him. And all those people believe that. And again, I think we're going to the same thing again. Nobody thinks the market can go down, but then you look at insiders, you look at actually Congress is unloading at the fastest pace I've seen. What does Tommy Tuberville know that we don't? Right? Why is he unloading stocks as fast as he literally can? What is he trying to say? You know something. Again, we know the recession's coming. We know it's going to be bigger, deeper than they expect, right? You cannot raise interest rate this harsh, this fast. And again, remember, they have lagging effects and not affect unemployment and affect the markets. Natural gas, again, if you played it, the bounce, nice. Okay. Well, short term, who knows, right? Could you get a retest? Oh my God, could it happen? Right? Here you go. Here was a trap at the top. Here's your retest at the top. I mean, every chart does this. I mean, everyone loves to see this V, right? They're like, yes, but then it comes back, right? Look at the top, right? Yes. Okay, retest. Yes. That's the top. Oh, yeah, oops, trap. Do you see how this works? It just gets so, like, debilitating mentally for people just to, like, come onto this channel and say something like, oh, it's crashing, it's rising, it's crashing. It's like, wait for retest. Be careful. Know your levels. It happens. Dollar looks like a near term. I mean, just choppy. TLT, we talked about, gotta hold the 100-day, this 92, 93, and it's just like dear life. Bond auctions going terribly. VIX riding, just channeling up. Now it pulls back some. Okay, I mean, this is what's so hard about the VIX, right? If this is how you base off market, like even when it had up moves, it'd be wide and loose, choppiness. That's why I don't really trade the VIX. I just watch it. I want to see higher lows and higher highs. And again, fear and greed index is at 76, 77, extremely greedy. We'll see how it plays out, right? SPY. Okay, cool. Nice rally today on the NVIDIA earnings. All right, we'll see what happens. Again, not short SPY by any means at this point, but man, I'm curious to see how it ends by the end of the day. I am genuinely curious. We talked about the dying volume of buying, and it's more liquidating up here quietly. Shh. Bigger volume on the sales, but hey, let's keep it ripping higher. That's where, again, it can be hard. There can be traps. Maybe this is a weekly. Maybe it's a monthly trap. You don't know until after the fact. And again, if you shorted SPY beforehand, we talked about held the 20-day. Well, you really need to break it. Look at QQQ. Look at this monkey. Look at this. Breaks the trap. Okay. I thought, honestly, 20-day after hours. But again, didn't do anything until after amateur hour today. Now look at it. Okay. Does it retest? Does it break out? I don't know. But, I mean, if you give me odds and you tell me, hey, what is the best trade right here, right now, at this point? It'd be to take a short and tight risk. It wouldn't be, I got to buy the market here. That's crazy. Now, again, could you have multiple days of holding up based on end of the month? Maybe the NVIDIA. I don't know. Maybe it needs another 17 upgrades. I don't know. Is there anyone left to upgrade? That's the question. Be careful. IWM, like, look at this thing lagging again. Yawn. Yawn. Yanni. Okay, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Because again, to me, the IWM is the economy. The other indexes are just absolute fluff, holding all Apple, holding all Magnificent Seven. Small caps are the economy. Big mega caps can be insulated at times, right? Gold, chop, chop, fizz, fizz. Yeah, what a relief it is. Silver, whatever. I told you guys, just please leave it alone. Wait for commodities. Wait for the Feds to pivot because that's the liquidity game. GDX, I mean, it's, again, we talked about dead cat bounce. Guys who bought the dip won. I mean, but also, could you argue if you shorted the highs and you traded around it, you also would have won. I mean, there's some guys in the Discord room who hedged going into earnings. They won. Again, how do you claim someone's winning or losing in choppy action? It's chop, right? Like, would you say the Bears are winning Apple? I would say the Bears are winning Apple, right? But are the Bears winning NVIDIA? No, again, it's a stock picker's market. Are the Bears or Bulls winning on Tesla, right? I mean, again, I hate generalizations because they're stupid. Who's winning and losing? Well, it's a stock picker's market. We've talked about that endlessly. So just do what you got to do. I mean, again, if something's wrong, you stop out. If it's right, you ride it and you manage it and you know what's coming. I mean, it's not rocket science. Teladoc and other COVID tech plays are smashed? No, they're not. No, that makes sense. They're dog shit. They peaked. Why would anyone buy Teladoc? We talk about it. It's no different than Peloton or any of these things that have peaked at one point. They're worthless. What's the point of chasing them? PayPal. I mean, there's so many of these. Oh, wow, you're playing the odds that you're going to get back up. I mean, I work for a company whose stock looks just like this. EXPI. Everything gets priced in perfection. I mean, I guess if you want to play it. I mean, again, if you want to play slow profits, snooze, you lose. Or again, I don't know. Stocks peak, their max growth rate hits, and then what? They're just here. And until they can redefine themselves and create some sort of new growth, what is Teladoc going to do that someone can't just rip off? That's why I laugh at people who are like, oh, I'm buying PayPal. Okay, if you want to trade it, you go right ahead. But for the long run, what does PayPal do that banks can't create themselves? Seriously, their app sucks as well. Oh, but I'm going to trade. Again, low prices doesn't mean discounts. Just like sometimes high prices don't mean something's expensive. Like look at SME and CI. Like look at that thing. Is that not blowing off the top? Again, everybody loves creating certainty. Everybody loves looking at things and going, well, this is my judgment of it versus what's the probabilities? What does the past say? What is the repeating tendency? What are the issues I actually have to be looking out for? Not, oh, I'm just going to chase something or I'm going to short something just to short it. That's the problem. Traders trade because the market's open all the time and they feel like they have to do something. And the best traders are patient. They let shit come to them. And when, guess what? They're wrong, and they're gone. How many times have I been right on things? How many times have I been wrong on things? It's just the nature of the beast. Nobody has anything. Nobody knows certain anything. Maybe other than Nancy Pelosi. Everyone else is just taking guesses. You got to understand that. It's so simple yet so difficult. And here you go. NVIDIA. Okay, cool. And someone goes, oh, if it broke 500, of course it was going up into the 700s. Well, again, someone that posted this doesn't make, like, why would it not be plausible, right? You break out of a resistance zone. I mean, again, you can go upside. Do the math. What's the 2 times range, right? You take like this area here, and then you add it onto here, the 2 times range. It's basically exactly 2 times. Not rocket science, but again, did you expect it to get up there? I don't know. Did I feel like I should chase it? No. Have I shorted it up here? No. But, you know, it makes sense to me. Soxus, near 4, under 4. It's a fucking gift. Bought more today. FAS stuff, a gift. But defining my risk. I'm not sitting here going, well, I'm going to hold it forever and hope that I can't be wrong. That's called stupidity. That's how you get blown out, y'all. You gotta think bigger. Market's trying to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. I realize that. So, anyway, any questions? Any questions? All right, well, let's just keep plowing along. Plowing along. SMH. Let's go at it. 210. Hits the upside. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Like big, and again, Eric, you might be the only one who can confirm this, so I don't sound like I'm just making shit up. What do you see at tops and bottoms sometimes? And again, no one predicted this. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, I predicted this. No. Big gaps. Big, emotional, fat gaps. Right? Big, fat gaps. Look at here at the bottom. Closed at 87, opened at 84. Gaps. Now, is it a trap or a runaway, like, next move? I don't know. But I look at it and I go, this thing went from 83 up at 209, AIO. Again, everyone knows AI. How many times do you need to hear AI to be like, well, the trend just started? I don't know. But that is a huge gap. Be careful. Again, again, go look at the past and let's do the work. Let's do the work. Let's do it. Let's do it. Big gap on Tesla. What do we remember? Like this thing just running away and then that was the end. Oh, another big gap. Big gap down, rally back. Right? Do you see this stuff? Like you got to be on red alert for these gaps. Big gap down, then what? Turned around for a little bit. Does this make sense? Again, I'm not saying it has to crash today or any means. It's like you got to be scared shitless. Because how much news is out there? How many people are chasing this right now? And it's a liquidity game. It is a liquidity game. Again, I don't know if today's the top in NVIDIA. But if you are a market maker, you are just unloading as much as you need quietly. Because look at the day's volume. It's almost yesterday's volume. And what time is it? We still got 3 hours left and change. Or less than 3 hours. Unlimited liquidity. Blah, 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 blah. Unlimited liquidity. That's, again, Jesse Livermore would be proud of me right now. He'd be patting me on the back going, that is what market makers wait for. Just like the big gaps on the extreme downs, they cover their shorts in because everyone's freaking panicking. And what do they unload into? The same shit. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a confirmation? Does this make sense? right? Does this make sense? Right? If Jesse Livermore, say you, me, Eric, and Scott, we're all here. We got, I don't know, how many millions of shares do we have? And we needed to unload. What day are we doing it? I mean, again, all of it, I don't know. But I mean, this is the shit you look for. Because again, you can unload and no one knows it. There's so much panic buying right now that you could sneak out on a million shares and nobody would have seen it. They've just been devoured up by shorts and squeezes and people just, I'm so emotional. Oh my God, NVIDIA, did you see their numbers? Oh my God, they're growing. They're doing so well. Oh, dude, you got to buy NVIDIA. It's going to 1,000. Okay, if it does, cool. If it doesn't, OMG. Does this make sense? Cool. Yeah. Good. Right? Here's the same shit. I gotta buy this cap on MicroStrategy. I gotta go. I gotta get in. I gotta get in. Oh, here, there it goes. Gives it right back. Oops. And how many times do you have to see this stuff to go, that makes sense, Dan. Thank you. I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to get trapped again. Please don't. Please don't. Oh, but I have to act. Well, okay, if you do, that's your problem. Meta. Uh-oh. Are we going back to, are we breaking out or are we faking out? Nice Intel. I mean, Intel's just like, it's just such a beast. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Because again, we could sit here and just play games with this and it's like, all right, this is the day. This is the action you look for. Again, turn the chart upside down. Turn it up. Turn around. Never know that I get. If this was upside down, I wish I could flip it. Would you be buying that dip? Now again, if you bought options, be careful, but would you be buying that dip? This big blow off gap. Would you be buying the dip? With stops, obviously, define your risk. Yeah, you'd be looking for it. You'd be, again, even if you didn't, you'd be hunting the shit out of it. Because again, maybe it just need a multi-day range, right? Maybe that's all it needs. Does this make sense? Because I feel like there's so many people that are come on here and just going to like argue and say like, oh, you're placating to probabilities and that, you know, you're right and wrong, or you're just wrong. And it's like, all right, man, I'm going to be wrong. But I also know like there's repeating patterns and that I have to be on a red alert for them all the time because they repeat. And I'm sorry that your guess, my guess is not always going to be right. That's just the nature of it. Again, get pocket aces. Do you always win in poker? Nope. Sometimes you get crushed by 2-7 offsuit when the flop comes. What? King 7-7? You got pocket aces. You think the guy has a king and he's sitting there with a 7. You're screwed. You're screwed. That's sometimes what happens. Again, KRE, look at this thing. Just lagging. Nobody wants junior banks. Okay, cool. I don't know. Financials. Oh, look at this. 40 handle. Someone said it. Congrats. Okay. Again, I have no problem building a FAS position down here at 11, 12. I mean, this thing could be at, FAS could be at 20 before I blink. All it takes is one mistake overseas. One bank. Okay. I love the risk reward. Why wouldn't? Okay. Makes sense to me. That's why we layer in. Define your risk. And if you got stopped out and you want to buy back, that's the thing, right? That's when you hunt. What do we say, like KOLD, right? All right, if you stop out, cool. Wait for a multi-day range. You got it. Any point. UNG, if you bought it at 18, you got stopped out, cool. Doesn't mean you give up on it. Then you could buy it at 14s, which we talked about, like here, define your risk. Boom. And obviously, the first pop, oh my God, look at that. There's a little pullback. You mean it just didn't rally off the lows, straight line? No. Time is really hard, folks, friends. I don't know what to say. Again, here's CCJ. This is interesting, right? Chopping around. I mean, any other names out there? I mean, again, we could run through all the tech ones. I mean, seen a lot of lower highs. But then everyone looks at SMH. Again, they focus on the shiny object. Just buy the dip. Okay, well, buy the dip. Buy the market. Buy the index dip. But every dip is not getting bought. And not in every company. Does this make sense? Cool. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Because again, this is not about certainty, and this is about how to defend yourself from market stupidity, but also be aware. You got to be careful. I mean, if Aaron's here, yeah, he might be happy, but again, he may have gotten smoked out for a couple days. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, if you chase the Qs, chase it, and then you puke the lows, and now you're chasing it up here. You're the fucking dog, like, with the bells and whistles. Like, here's a treat, and the market maker's like, give me your money. So again, credit where credit's due. I don't care. Again, you give me the same scenario, I'm not buying the fucking dip up here. If this chart was upside down and me going, hey, I'm shorting this, what do you think? You'd go, Dan, what are you doing? Right? Like, let's be honest. If I said, hey, flip this upside down. Hey, guys, I recommend highly you short down here. You'd go, okay? What? King Wasabi, what did you just say? What are you doing? What? How high are you? Airbnb, no, I haven't covered it. No, it's in the garbage zone. Mm-hmm. I agree. Here's a big vapor dandy. Yeah, someone bought Nvidia at 777 today. Wow, that's and this is the thing. I personally know other people who bought all sorts of fun stocks, like say Peloton over 100. I know people bought PayPal in the 300s, and they're just still gonna be like, I'm gonna be right at some point. I'm gonna win. I bought Intel at what was it, like what price was it at a couple years ago before it got smoked down? I'm trying to remember. Was it in the 60s, 70s, something like that? Yeah, I know people were like, I bought it in the 60s. I'm gonna hold forever. Okay, well, that's great. Cool story. I hope you make your money back someday. No, but I'm getting in dividends. Okay, that 12 cents. 36 cents, I guess. Okay, sure, whatever. Could have bought a dozen other stocks, but 100 other stocks maybe. SQQ, to me, it makes a lot of sense down here. Again, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do and wouldn't do, but define the risk, and it makes a fuck ton of sense. Excuse my language. No, but I'm trying to be perfect, Dan. Tell me the exact high. I wish I knew that. If I had one of my favorite quotes is, the man who trades from a magic crystal ball eventually will be eating ground glass. Meaning, like, you're going to be like, what the no. Right? This makes sense? Thoughts, questions, concerns? Amazon. I'm just curious looking at this one again. Bezos is just unloading up here. Okay, you guys buy. It's curious. Taiwan Semi. Drops, pops back. Okay, cool. There's a lot of lower highs here. A lot of lower highs. But hey, Nvidia. That's all I got to watch. Nvidia's the market though, right? All right, we'll see. I don't know. How much longer can they carry it? It's like that tech, or it's like that Monty Python meme where he's got like his arms cut off and he's like, it's only a flesh wound. Well, the market's diverging. Pieces are lagging and lagging and lagging. How strong can the market be if the fruit is not leading, not following? The Guggenheim, right? The Tesla, the Intels. Again, the Federal Expresses. We'll see. We shall see. Soxus, yeah. I mean, love it down here. Why would you not? I mean, why would you not take a stab down here, right? Like, why? If you don't want to shorten video, there you go. I mean, is this a huge, massive novice gap trap? I mean, again, if the stock was upside down and this was a bottom and this was that gap, I'd be like, oh shit, I got to cover some shorts. Now, again, does it mean it has to bottom today? No, but you've got endless liquidity. You need to be looking for the exits. Again, I love Sunshine Trader. I think he's a good dude. He was talking about it today. He was like, these gap ups are gifts. They are. Like, if you were bullish, an absolute gift. Are NVIDIA's earnings that good? Again, it doesn't matter. Did you look at Taiwan semis? They're negative growth, right? Did it matter? AMD, what was their growth? Like, minimal? It doesn't matter. It's the reaction, right? That's where it's so hard, right? If you knew, again, I've told you guys, like, I've known in the past company numbers, and then the stock did the opposite of what I thought it did. So it doesn't, again, that's why second mouse gets the cheese, right? You got to be careful. You could have known how, I mean, again, you could have could have made a ton of assumptions about their earnings, right? Let's look at it real quick. Turn around. I just want to get the exact numbers. Wow, there's so much on this. Revenue rose 260, yep, year over year. Not surprised. $20 billion company. Revenue, upside guidance. Okay, that's great. I mean, that headline in that itself, just read that. Demand is surging worldwide across companies, industry, nation. Our data center platform is powered by increasing diverse drivers, demand and for data processing, training, and influence from large cloud service providers and GPU services, as well as from enterprise software and consumer internet companies. Vertical industry led by, yeah. They're literally saying everybody and their mom should get into our business and copy us. That's what I read. If things are that good. Can they sustain that advantage forever? I don't know. I mean, this is what we saw at the top with Cisco. Endless growth in demand and worldwide router usage. The internet is the future. At the top, Tesla. We see long-term sustainability in electric car sales as governments continue to subsidize electric cars. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that kind of stuff? I do. I mean, there's talk of fake NVIDIA sales too. That's what's interesting. Again, I don't know. I mean, how much faster can their revenue growth? The law of large numbers. Right? Is this the peak? Because that would be a problem. Because now you're going to have to start doing at some point some what? Right? You're going to have to start going, all right, can we continue this momentum quarter over quarter? No one's coming for NVIDIA, right? Okay, we'll see. I mean, literally everybody and their mom. That's the problem here. Does this make sense? Like, again, I'm not saying it has to top today. I have no, again, I'm not going to sit here and sell certainty. Like, that's just the stupidest crap ever. If anyone ever sells certainty, again, it's probabilities. Anyone who sells certainty is lying to you. That is not possible in trading unless you're Nancy Pelosi. But even then, I've seen her wrong. We've seen Buffett wrong. We've seen everybody be wrong. That's the issue here, and people don't remember that. They just go, well, you killed it. All right, well, can you repeat that? That's the question, right? How much higher does it need to go? I don't know. AI is the future. How often have you heard that? Like, I mean, how many times does it have to be said? Right? Okay, well, we'll see how much longer that can go on. You've got to ask yourself some really tough questions. If you buy NVIDIA today at 777, for example, are you prepared to hold it and see what happens? I would not be. I mean, again, like, that's the problem here. Oh, but it could go to 1,000, Dan. All right. Well, I mean, it's now what, valued at $2 trillion. Okay, with $20 billion in sales. You do the math there. That's a little expensive, just a tad. If this is the Shark Tank, you know, Mr. O'Leary would be like, no, I don't want your company. He's like, you guys have peaked out your growth potential. How am I ever going to make my money back? That's what he'd be saying right now. How would I ever make my money back? You're not paying dividends. No. So you're just betting on what? Higher stock appreciation? He'd go, well, what's your multiple? Does this make sense? I mean, I don't know for sure. And people are like, oh, but your job is to know for sure. Okay, well, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm some sort of magic witch. I know a lot of things, but again, I don't play in the realm of certainties. The market isn't a certainty game. If it was, then that'd be different, right? Not A plus B equals C every time. If it was that simple, holy shit, trading would be would be stupid. Does that make sense? Just because you know some variables doesn't necessarily mean they repeat, right? This is a big equation. I don't know. But if, again, you give me a gun to my head and you say, what do you want to do here? I go, well, man, I'd probably be hunting shorts and semis. Okay, well, that makes sense. Every time we talked about it, it gets down into that 4 on the stock test. Okay, gift. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm sure as hell not buying it, going long here. Like, that would be like recipe for disaster. I don't know if this is like gonna start a run to 800, 900. I don't know. So I'm not gonna step in front of Nvidia, that's for sure. But I do see Intel slacking. I see Taiwan Semi. I mean, I see all these names making lower highs. Nope. Sometimes it is not. Agreed, Scott. If you're not sure, don't act. It's the same like logic in any game. If you're not sure, why would you act? That's called gambling. If you have to act. That's an addiction. Right? You don't always have to be trading. I would completely agree, but man, I would absolutely take this spot all damn day. All day. All day. Because again, if the chart was upside down, I wouldn't hesitate. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Maybe. But you don't have to go all in either. Why can't you just nibble? No. It's an all or nothing thing, Dan. No, I'm trading absolutes. I'm either 100% short or I'm not in the trade. Well, again, that's some bullshit thinking. It's just silly. It's just silly, man. I have to, and again, think about the people who are chasing all in. Get on this train, 700. Okay. Like, again, if it goes to 1,000, someone will be like, oh, you said short here. I said, no, I said wait. Don't step in front of the trade. Yeah, have a good one, Scott. Peace. No. But again, if this chart was upside down and I felt like I needed to, and I would absolutely. I just don't know. Watch the end of the day. Do not be surprised when the big boys are done, how fast a rug can be pulled. Maybe not today. You don't know. Remember Tesla? I mean, how many people were here in 2021 when we were just like, you got to get the fuck out of this thing? Electric cars, they're going to build endless amounts. Everybody and their mom is going to build them. There was no one that wasn't going to try to build them. GM, Ford, Volkswagen, I mean, you name it. Who wasn't? No, Dan, they promised that there's going to be huge amount of future sales in electric cars. Were they wrong? Nope. But the shareholders who bought it, that hype got destroyed. Will it ever come back? I don't know. You got to ask yourself these kind of questions. That's tough to know. Again, back to the NVIDIA chart. Pretend this was upside down and this was a bottom, a big novice gap trap. Could it be the end of like a free for all? Because this is sometimes what you see. Like you've seen it with gold. Here it is. Like you just start like this runaway gap series, but then it is the real bottom. See it a lot in gold. So here's a chop bottom. Here's a runaway top. Here you go. Big gap. Chop, then it goes higher. Big gap, retest, runaway gap, straight line move. There's your gap. Felt like it may have been the end, but nope. Then you doji out. You see what I'm saying? Like probability wise, 75% of the time, it's probably going to be an inflection point. Okay, well, if I believe 75% of the time it's going to be an inflection point, why would I not take a stab at stocks this year? Just tell me why I shouldn't. Right? Now, again, are you all in? I don't know. That's your choice. But if it's a runaway, okay, well, then define your risk. Put your stop in and just walk the fuck away. Can you do that? Can you define your risk and just say, all right, I accept being wrong? If it comes to that, it comes to that. It's hard. I wish it was easier. I wish I could tell you like, hey, wait for this time at this point and this price, and man, you're just gonna nail it. What? No. Like, look at this. I think it's the 2 times range, right? Ah, crap. Let's get rid of all this junk. How many fibs do we have in here? Jeez Louise. There we go. Okay. Just doing some drawings. So where would the 2 times range be? Okay. SMH. Oh man, I thought I was on NVIDIA. Dang it. Dummy. I mean, you can't even do the 2 times range here that easily. We tried to do that. But if you do the math here, I mean, you've gone parabolic. This leg, I guess did that leg, 500, 400, 400. No, I guess you could get to 800. I mean, again, everything is possible. But do you want to chase this part? That's the question you have to ask yourself, Aaron. Are you a long-term holder? Are you a long-term holder that just says, you know what? Nobody's coming for NVIDIA's lunch. No one can ever beat NVIDIA. They're the best. They'll never lose. They'll never have competition. Their margins are only going to continue to expand endlessly forever. It's a question you got to ask yourself. I mean, it's the same. Again, I can go through like a million of these examples. Hey, I'm buying solar. It's the shit. Oops. And then it chops. ENPH, some of these names are like, dude, these things are absolute turd bubbles. Yeah, trap. At some point, the more money you make, the law of large numbers comes for you. Apple might be the only like real, again, at some point, someone will make a better product than Apple, but their ecosystems have kept people from hacking on their stuff. But somebody knows something about China at some point. That's what's curious here. That's my biggest concern. So, all right, any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Want to talk about some real estate? Want to talk about it? I mean, again, real estate's crazy right now. Like the market's about to like list a ton of houses, and the TLT higher rates. I mean, dude, I'm seeing people list their house and then like within a week going, crap, we got no offers, no showings, and their agents told them, hey, list it. Not the ones that I recommend out to my friends. No, they do good work. But the ones like I have to like hear them cry, oh, you didn't use me. Well, I would have told you a pricing strategy would have gotten you multiple bidders. Oh, we wanted to price it high, hoping that someone will come in and make an offer. And it's like, now you have no offers. How's that feel? Oops, now you're going to have to lower your price. And then even then, what if there's only one buyer? They're going to rake you over the coals. I'd absolutely negotiate it in the ground. Why wouldn't I? If I'm the only buyer, I'm the market. Does that make sense? I am the market. Sorry. I am the market. You are the market. That's why, again, if you're looking at real estate, even if you're not going to buy any now, next week, next month, please hit me up, log into my website, let me find you an agent. Just be prepared, because you might see some absolute stupid steals out there. People panicking and you're the only buyer. Again, it'd be like buying stocks when no one wants them. I mean, what if you could buy a house for nothing, essentially? Meaning like, hey, what if the seller just has no equity? They want to walk away, but they have a great mortgage. Could you take over their mortgage? Yep, you potentially could. Creative finance. Or what if they bought and they've held for 10, 15 years and they're like, I've got a lot of equity, I don't care. And then all of a sudden the market dries up. They might just take a stupid lowball offer. Think about what wholesalers do as a business, right? You could be literally getting wholesale prices on houses if you're prepared. But if you're not, then again, you'll just buy it when it gets easy. And that's where it's like, man, just like selling or shorting at the highs, you know how hard it is to convince people to buy real estate at the lows? Oh, the market economy is like, all right, well, people always need a place to live in the United States of America. I mean, they're trying to ruin it, and it still holds value. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I mean, that's the reality here, right? It'd be like having no plan is a bad plan. If at some point you were looking to buy a house, you want to buy a house, why would you not start tracking the market in your area? Why? You're just going to show up one day and say, it's time to buy a house. No, your brain's not going to allow you. You're going to have to start mentally investing in what you need to do. Because those voices will be like, oh, it'll just go lower. And you'll hear all the negative voices in your head, create a narrative. Well, I'll just wait. Because that's comfortable. Your brain loves to tell you to wait. Because it's like, what's the certainty sign? Like, you don't even have a plan. So of course the brain goes, well, I'll just wait forever. There's no certainty. Realty, duck and cover. I like that. It's a good one. Maybe I'll name if I ever start another realty group, I'll call it Duck and Cover. I like that one. That's a good one. Right? Like, oh, my plan to buy a house is just one day I'll just feel like it. No, you won't, because there's like 258 things in a transaction that you might not even think about. That's just like your brain goes, whoa, that's way too much. I don't want to deal with that shit. No. Oh, I got to get qualified. Oh man, I got to put my tax returns together. I got to go to a bank. Oh God, I don't want to do it today. And then today is tomorrow, and then tomorrow's next week, and then next week's next month, and then it's next year. And guess what? You're still going, fuck, I didn't buy a house. And again, I'm not saying go out there and rush to buy one now. No. I think the deals are going to get juicier. Wait till wait until more inventory comes out and there's more sellers than buyers. There's going to be some people that just don't care. They're like, I don't want to own a house. Like, the media will be like, home prices dropped. Home prices are dropping. And it's the same shit that gets people to sell stocks at the lows. The same shit. Or the same stuff. You got to buy a house now. Got to buy a house. Does this all make sense? I mean, it's literally the recurring pattern in every economy, market, and anything in business, right? When everybody's, what's Buffett's favorite saying? When everybody's buying, when there's party in the streets, he's out. And when there's blood on the streets, he's buying or whatever. Everybody's partying on NVIDIA. What would Mr. Buffett be doing? Sneaking out the back door. Like, you guys can stay here and get drunk. I'm out. I'll take my profits. But here's the thing about housing. Rents go up over time. You will probably, unless you're in the wrong area, you will gain equity. Now, if they continue to base the dollar at some point and QE it and inflation goes nuts, you'll be thankful you own a house and you have debt. Because that debt, all of a sudden, maybe a $500,000, $100,000, $200,000, whatever the end of number ends up being, loan is now equal to a loaf of bread. That's the thing. People don't realize with inflation, runaway inflation, debt owners win bigger because you leverage something that, again, at some point, say you bought a $300,000 house and inflation goes nuts, and now that house is worth $1 million. You guys, I don't know how some older you guys, but I have friends who bought real estate in the 70s with high interest rates, and then inflation just continued. They had mortgages for like $17,000, $29,000. And then when they decided to sell their houses in like 2006, 2007, they laughed. They're like, I never even tried to pay off the mortgage. It was just so low and stupid. It didn't matter. It was free money. Like, why even refinance something that small? Unless you, again, they did. I mean, not refinance, but why pay off the debt? They just refinanced it down from whatever 17 or 20% or whatever was stupid in the 70s at that time, down to 5%. And they're like, I had a 5% interest rate on $30,000. It was a damn joke because their rents were 20 times that. Does that make sense? Like, that's where if inflation goes, you're not going to be hurt. I promise you. And say, well, if the market economy crashes, well, your home price might drop on paper, right? That makes sense. But if people aren't buying, what are they doing? What are they doing? They're renting. If you can't afford to buy, you got to rent. That's why if you can find cheap prices, good deals, you're setting yourself up for generational wealth. Think about it. Buffett buys stocks. But how many real estate Buffetts are there out there? Have you ever thought about that? Even Bill Gates is now trying to buy all the real estate he can. How many real estate million and billionaires do you know versus million and billionaires in stocks? I know endless ones in real estate. I don't know many in trading. What's easier? Which one has incredible tax advantages? And which one can you literally buy and sell and pay no tax on real estate if you 1031 exchange it? Literally, if it's an investment property and you're buying like-kind investments, you can buy something after selling it and pay zero tax. It's called 1031 exchange. It's a fucking joke. Oh, you can write off accelerated depreciation. Oh, say you've got extra capital in your LLCs and you're like, I don't want to pay taxes. Well, guess what people do? They buy real estate. They do all sorts of fun stuff. I mean, it's there's not that many tax strategies in stocks. That's the sad thing. Not many ways to game the system. All right, well, I'm going to run if nobody has anything to say. I don't want to talk here, but it is hopefully important information. You're getting that. Like, again, think about it. This is the time to go put your shopping list together. It's not the time to duck and cover forever. Duck and cover in patience. Sit in the duck blind with your shotgun and let them fly over you and take a shotgun to them. Pow. That makes sense. There's going to be a lot of scattering birds. And depending on your real estate area, I mean, it might be literally, I mean, Denver's down 18% off the highs in certain areas. I don't know how much cheaper it'll get, but I'm not complaining. I know my people who are selling are, I told you, got to put the price right to get multiple bidders. But the people are buying. Oh, but the interest rate's high. Okay. Well, let's just make sure we can cash flow it. Okay, well, if you can't cash flow it, let's just wait. Because do we not know for a fact that the Feds have never navigated a soft landing once they've raised rates as high as they like as quick and as fast as they have? Yep. And if they don't, it'll be the anomaly. I don't know how they'll get away with it without just endless money printing. But do you think they're going to try that first with unemployment at 3.5%, stock market at all-time highs? Can they get away with QE here? Okay, we'll see. Again, that's just my thinking. Again, that's why the next meeting, there's 0% chance of a rate cut at this point. And at some point, you're probably going to start seeing rate hike. And if that's the case, okay, we'll see. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys. Thanks again for listening, sharing, hitting the like button, doing your part to support the channel. It means a lot to me. I mean, it does. It means a lot because If this was your channel and you needed me to hit the like button, leave a comment, I'd do it every time just to help you grow. Because again, it's not about like anything other than that. The more that the algorithm sees that people like this stuff, the more people that can benefit from learning from it. And again, at some point, I think when the time is right, I'd love to do some shared screen kind of podcast versions of this with other guys and the gals involved in the group, so they can just talk about their experience, what they're up to, how they've learned to trade, how their psychology has changed. Again, it's not about just crushing it all the time. Sometimes it's just playing defense. Good defense is better than getting destroyed. All right. Talk to you guys in later. Peace.